mk7 transit today. Really springs. I've already done this side. Obviously that's all the tools I use there. So got this side jacked up now. I will climb underneath once I've got the wheel under. Show you where I jacked it to get in this position. So we're going to whiz this wheel off. Already got the gun ready. So if you haven't got a gun, get a brake bar, crack them off while they're on the floor, then undo them by hand when you get it in the air. Easy as that. So that's the wheel off. Once you've got the wheel off, make sure you put the wheel stud somewhere safe, i.e. on the wheel there. So, got it underneath the chassis, 2 axle stands just for a bit of extra safety, and just to make sure, jack under there as well. Just because it is a van, there's a bit of weight, and I've got them on blocks because the axle stands bottomed out, they didn't go high enough. So that's a simple job. 1 bolt there, 2 on this side, 2 on the other side, 1 on the rear. This is tools I'll be using today. 21, 22, 24 spanners. That's just used for that. 18mm socket, 22 socket bar. That to clean shit up, that to hit shit, that to free shit. And this is just to support the axle once I lift the leaf spring out. Start with, give everything a good spray up with WD-40. And the 2 rear and front points as well. All we're going to do it, get our gun and literally just buzz these off. See, I've already cracked them there. See, the gun started to struggle there. That'd be why. I'm going to refresh battery. See if that helps. Bit more loop. I had 1 off, so I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. I think I've got a gun. It's going to be hard graft with a I'll have to spin them off. So that is both of them off down there. Obviously I've put this, just one of these ones that you get in a car if when you change your wheel, when you have a fucking blowout on the side of the motorway or some shit. That's just helped to support the axle, so it's not pulling on the handbrake cable or anything with that block on it. So we'll move on to this one because it's the easiest one. You get the gun on it, 21mm and 24 on the back. We're just going to buzz them out. This one unfortunately can't get the gun in, so battery brake bar, 18mm on that. That's on that side's 21, and it's fucking tight. So that's free. Let's get pulled up, just like that. Wiggle, and away it comes. See, I'll replace it. That is the idea. It's just going away. So, up here on the axle where it sits, I'm going to give it a good scrub off with a wire brush. Just to get rid of any corrosion. And him on there, and a bit on these points too. We do have, I don't know if they're the wrong size or what, but as you can see there, so obviously when I'm tightening it, my socket bottoms out before these actually get tight. There's not really much room to get a spanner in, plus you're not going to get tight enough with a spanner and that. So it's easy, just literally just lob a little bit off there. So that's what I'm going to go do with the grind it out. Just take a little bit off and I'll show you when I have to cut them off. Them cut down to a bit more of a manageable size. Just a bit of a tip, you see I put the nuts on before I cut them. Put the nuts on first, and when you wind the nuts off, it helps clean the end of the thread up from where you've cut it. It makes it damn sight a lot easier to get back on when you put them back together. So you can see spring is back onto the axle, and all I like to do is get your U-clamp, U-bolts. I just like to nip them so they're just grabbing. Then we're going to jack our axle back up so it sits where it should roughly be. Get that lined up, which it almost is once it goes up. and get the rear lined up. So obviously we just wind it up, just nice and gently with that, gets in position, that hole is lined up. Key bolt, a copper slip, and let's get it in there. Bit of a tap. And then what I like to do here is I'll put the gun on it and spin it the rest of the way in. Just like so. So I'm just going to leave that loose. So we've got a bit of play to get the rear one done. As you can see, that bolt's in, got the nut just started, so we're just going to get that tightened up with the bar. Tighten up the other side, and then we'll get all these tightened down. So that is it all tightened down. Obviously when you're doing them, you want to do a bit at a time, bit at a time, bit at a time, all the way forward, so it clamps it nice and even. Basically, if you haven't got a torque wrench or anything, just do them as physically as tight as you can. Drive it for say 50 miles or so, get back underneath and give them another tight, because they will stretch. That's it, wheel back on, job done. Springs on a transit, mk7 transit slide. Now I need to have tidy up.